We're dealing with a serious cockroach issue today in the attic space. These spaces like this can be intimidating for the homeowner. Coming up here is scary, especially when you're finding things like this. You got one here in the drip pan, one up here on our return, and you got one back here, sitting back here in this area. What I want to talk about first is why they would most often get up in these areas. Excessive rains can drive them out for drier places. Cooler temperatures can drive them to these areas as well. Extreme temperatures where there's very little water outside. Attic spaces most likely saw upticks because most of your returns in these areas will have a drip pan. That drip pan will build condensation. Now what will happen is these cockroaches, they love water, they need it with the dryness outside. They're most likely gonna come find this coolness from this unit, and they're gonna end up feeding on this water in this drain to stay alive. They got supplies that you might store up here, Christmas items, anything under the sun that you aren't going to touch for a while goes in these deep, dark, creepy areas. That just gives those cockroaches and other insects good shelter to hang out in while they feed on the moisture and other little debris they may find up here, because cockroaches can eat just about anything. Glue out of paper, cardboard boxes, so there's plenty, as you can see right here. It's a quiet area, so they do get a chance to kind of not be around humans, not be attacked by any predators of theirs. So typically this is a good safe haven for them. The challenges for doing pest control in the attic space is really just space. Most attics are gonna be fairly inaccessible, but you will have a pretty good platform to work from. And this is most often where your cockroaches are going to land and pretty much remain because of the moisture from the drip pan. The pests we typically find in attic spaces can be from silverfish to cockroaches, millipedes, centipedes, spiders, wasps. So it's a whole multitude of insects that can find areas up here through our ridge line through the center of the roof, which has to be exposed to allow airflow so that the roof line can breathe to prevent warping. So it's not unusual to actually see things up here because of such easy accessibility. So we're going to start with our master line glue board. Some people refer to it as a sticky trap or an insect monitor. You just find those lines in that paper there. There's a lot of glue on this board, so it can last for a long period of time. I like it as one of my go-tos because it's just simple to put down to trap, catch, and watch. We typically don't want to put one in the drip pan because, of course, it holds condensation, so we don't want the trap to get wet. So we're going to just sit it right out here where we found the activity. Insects, if you ever watch them, they will follow borders. So it's always good to border these, so that way they'll be comfy running through that box. And that can go for a mouse as well. Here's another way to put those traps out. Now, not many people are going to be coming up here nor walking around in these areas. So here's another way you can use the board. You actually don't have to do the preparations. You can just pull it off flat. See that glue? You can slide that right under here. It's in a good dark area. And from this point on, the only reason you notice how I put this one flat and this one boxed. The reason is because this is within walk space. So if someone comes up and service person's got to work on the unit, they won't have to worry about stepping on that open glue pad because it is very difficult to get off your shoe. Do not step on it. You will have a hard time, I promise. I've done it. And I like going right here up on the edge. So you always want to keep that on the edging. Anything can come out of there. It'll come out of that cotton batting. That's that new age insulation. It's really loose, so easy for bugs to move through. I might even put one over here as well. So that covers kind of like a border of this whole platform. So wherever direction they come from, there'll be something to get them. So now what we're going to do is we're going to move over into our spot treatment with our Essentria IC Pro and our B&G sprayer here. With the sprayer, what you really want to do is just kind of stay around on the edgings. You could do a light coating on the platform, but then you can just kind of lightly paint that floor area. leaves a good residual across there because that's where they're pretty much going to run at. Now we're making sure we cover these areas that has most of the humidity and the moisture building in the condensation tray. So we always try to hit that area really good. Never hurts to be generous. And these are good areas too to kind of hit around because these are pockets that they can move through the ceiling of the house with. So treating these little areas around here are really going to keep them from moving from this area down below. In respect with treating in an attic space with insulation, you never want to treat the insulation because it's not supposed to be wet because it's susceptible to mold. A lot of this insulation is pre-treated with a boric acid, and that's what it helps for. Things to keep in mind when treating your attic: don't treat the insulation, there's no need, and check your traps. Remember, you can maximize the amount of glue on the board, so let it catch as many as it can. It's in an attic space, so it ain't hurting anybody. I hope you liked this video and found it helpful. Please like and subscribe. Do you need the EcoMen's help? Book today by clicking the link in the description.